there's been a lot that's gone on in the world of sports since I last saw you guys. I'm going to get in there and break down all of that on the other side of the open, only on the new edition of the Stingray Scoop. Plus, I have a surprise for all of you guys on the other side of the open. Welcome inside another edition of the Stingray Scoop, everybody. I am the host, Stingray, obviously, and I have a surprise for you guys off the top of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, and you know us here at the CTS, we love to bring some fire and some passion for you guys. So without further ado, let me go on ahead and announce that we have Clemson Tom going to be joining us here on the CTS, and this guy brings it. He brings the fire, he brings the passion, and oh, by the way, whatever he says, he may offend you, but he does not care. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy to say that right here on the Stingray Scoop, we are going to be joined right now by the one and only, the legend himself, Clemson Tom. Tom, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just hanging out. Got your favorite guy here. Look at this T-shirt.
Awesome, man.
Look at that shirt he's got going on. You see it?
That's awesome.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it over here. And we got the championship belt.
Dude,
living the dream. It's Friday.
That's fantastic. Well, let me ask you this: how did you ultimately start your claim to fame and start the ranch? What went into all of that?
Man, it really happened. Did it on a dare because we used to call in the radio shows all the time, and so we did some YouTube videos, did some prank calls with the YouTube videos, called some coaches. The famous one was probably when we prank called the Georgia Tech Library, and man, it was just fun. Ended up running on Auburn's field. Wanted to see what it was like to play on a high school field again.
Yes.
And so took over Auburn's field, went to Georgia's field. That was kind of like the thing there for a while. Just to go to whoever stadium we were playing that week and shoot a video on their field, talk some smack. And we ended up beating them on Saturday. And it was what it was, wasn't it? Champions, winners, Tigers, it's the same thing.
Absolutely. Well, man, what are your thoughts so far on the CTS and especially the founder, Joey?
My thoughts on it, I finally feel like what LeBron feels like. I come out of retirement, kind of, sort of, whatever you want to call it. And he was talking to me, please come join. Oh, man, it's going to be great. Blah, 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 blah. So I was like, let me check out this guy's YouTube page. And it looked like something that like a middle schooler would do. It was horrible. I feel like LeBron in free agency. Next thing I know, he's offered me everything under the sun. Come on. So I go on the other day. It was what it was. We talked some smack. His smack game was, I think you're a better trash talker than him. Yours is, you're my son, so it's a little bit better. But, I mean, we'll see what it can do.
Yes.
I'll make it better, obviously. It can only go up from here. I mean, I felt like I was watching, midget basketball. And all of a sudden, I'm 6 foot tall. They want to make me the center. Obviously, the defense is going to get better. The goal's still low, so I can still dunk it. So as long as he keeps his standards low like he has been for the show, all I got to do is just smile and wink, and then there you go. I mean, I'll do what I can with what I got, but it ain't gonna be hard.
I got you. Well, man, let's go in and talk because I do believe we are about 50 days away from the start of the college football season. No Trevor Lawrence there for Clemson. How do you feel like Clemson will do this year without their starting quarterback, who was pretty much the golden boy up there in Clemson?
It's gonna be, and I'm gonna tip my hat to your boy on the Bama standard. It's gonna be like Alabama's running back position. Just gonna reload.
Right.
We got DJ Ugalele. I can't even pronounce his name. Tailgate next to his dad. Great people, man. Is
Yes.
Ugalele. I got to have like 3 or 4 cold ones just to say it. Great people though, man. Love them. Even if they didn't go to Clemson, I probably still root for that kid, just knowing his family. But we're just gonna reload. I'm not worried.
Yes.
I'm more worried about happy hour ending here in a little bit.
Yes.
We still going to happy hour? Wife says we're still going, so I ain't worried about nothing, Sting. Clemson, the quarterback position, getting some cold ones later. I don't know. Sting, I'm actually just excited you're here.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So ain't nobody worried about nothing. I'm sure Alabama's probably getting a little bit worried. Saban's getting up there in age. Now everybody else can compete with Alabama when it comes to paying players.
Yes.
It's leveling the playing field. So, there you go.
Well, since you're in the ACC, I would love to get your take on the first matchup between Alabama and Miami. What are your thoughts on that?
I always forget Miami has a football team until they start saying the U's back.
Yes.
There you go. See, this is what happens when you're winning. You got people just bringing you beers left and right. Appreciate you, pal. And they always throw up the U.
Yeah.
But it's really just like a sad face.
Yes.
And, I went to a game a few years ago. I know. We're talking about sad things. It's okay. She's a therapy dog. She understands when we start talking about people that are a little just unfortunate. She wants to come and love on you. We're talking about the Hurricanes, baby. I know. They don't understand. They still think it's 84. Yeah, Michael Irvin isn't there. Well, he's still in Miami buying cocaine, but it is what it is. Okay. They always want to talk about the U's back. They are back. They're back for another season of going 500 or something. I don't know. Alabama's going to it's going to be ugly. Is the line out for that game yet, Sting?
No, I think it is, and I think it's 18. I think I saw it was 18.
Holy crap, 18?
Yeah.
Caitlin, let's take out a second mortgage and put it all on Alabama minus 18. We'll be fine.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty stiff. All right. Well,
18.
Yeah. My last question for you is this. Are you going to be able to go to the Georgia-Clemson matchup? And if so, how do you think that game turns out?
No, I can't go. I got booked for a thing in New York City. So I got to take my southern behind up past the Mason-Dixon and go up there to do some things, unfortunately. But it's New York City. It is what it is. How that game's going to turn out, I think we're going to beat Georgia. I think it's going to be a great matchup first week out. I'm not really worried about Georgia. It's summertime right now in Athens, so that leaves their football players with a lot of time and a lot of free will, which basically means suspensions.
Yes.
So it's late July. We haven't had any arrests yet. I'm sure we have. They're just under the radar.
Yes.
Kirby Smart's going to figure out some way to mess it up. He's going to mess it up somehow, like his haircut.
Yeah.
Have you seen his – and then he wears that stupid visor. Who knows what Kirby's going to do? Nice vacuum cleaner name. But then again, I can't really make fun of names because our coach's name is Dabo.
Yes.
But Dabo versus Kirby, it's going to be a good one. Georgia, Clemson, we hate each other. Schools are like an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours away from each other. 2 good Southern schools. The bars in Charlotte are going to make $1 million Friday. We're not even going to talk about Saturday and Sunday. Man, that's what you live for in college football. You live for these big time games. And since Georgia's in the SEC East, they don't get a lot of big time games. So I'm sure they're looking forward to it as well.
Well, and my last question, I know I said the last one was what, but how excited are you as a college football fan that we are now getting more and once again getting the non-conference matchups that we didn't get last year?
I'm all right with it. It's cool. Everyone here in Orlando is all excited that they get to finally play Florida.
Yeah.
And Florida's just using it as a paycheck game, I'm sure. UCF ain't going to be anything. I mean, they all are not Auburn. UCF finally has Gus Miles on. He lives
Yes.
right up the road from me. Um, every time I see him, he's walking around with his notebook held like this, shaking his head. He doesn't know what he got himself into. Poor fella. He doesn't have deep pockets like he did at Auburn, so I don't think he's going to be
Yes.
able to pay the players to come here because it's. I mean, you go to UCF, it's okay.
Yeah.
It looks like a Division II school, but that's neither here nor there. You know, they really want to. It's a lot like a pimento cheese sandwich. They want to pretend like they're made in Augusta, but it's really made by somebody in Spartanburg. It's not the same. Poor fella.
Well, Tom, we really have enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And you have anything else you would like to say to Joey before y'all square off on another episode?
Joey, shave your beard before I get there. Quit using a green screen. You look like a jabroni. It looks dumbed down. It looks cheap. But then again, I don't know what's behind the green screen. So maybe that little green screen kind of makes the home property value in your house go up or something. Man, I don't know. I feel sorry for it. We're still praying for it. We're going to light a candle. Shave your beard because unless you can grow one in as beautiful as mine, it's really a waste of time. I'm just trying to help you out, and I don't even like you. So you should take that as a compliment.
Tom, thank you so much. And we will be seeing you on the CTS here pretty soon. Have a great weekend. And as always, God bless, my friend.
Yes, sir. Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Well, that was Clemson Tom. That was a preview of what you are going to see here each and every week. Starting this week, as a matter of fact, we actually did have a video out of myself, Joey, and Clemson Tom going back and forth. That is right here on the YouTube page, and we hope that you guys really enjoyed it. And if you missed it, you do want to check it out because there were a lot of lefts and rights being thrown verbally, not physically though. But it was a great, great show nonetheless. And that's what's basically going to take over and take the CTS guys to the next level is guys like Clemson Tom going one-on-one with the founder, Joey. So now with all of that being out there, I do wanted to get into a couple of news and notes around the country, and we will start right here in the state of Alabama. It was announced a couple of days ago that the Alabama season opener will look a little bit different this year because as you see in the photo there, Alabama is wearing all white jerseys in their first game with the U versus Miami, and this will be the first time that the Alabama Crimson Tide have worn all white uniforms in a season opener since 2009, where they thumped Virginia Tech in the same place, Atlanta. So once again, Alabama will be wearing all white unis on the Labor Day weekend when they square off with the U for their first game in 2021. So that's going to be rather interesting right there. Also, I do want to also say that once again, we have a little bit of butt hurt here because it obviously looks like that the Texas Longhorns are trying to pull their weight a little bit and show everybody that they are still in power in the Big 12, and they are really upset about people doing this to them. Oh, that really hurts me. That hurts my feelings. Well, if any player from an opposing team does the horns down to a teammate or to the opposing team or to a Texas player, they will be a flag thrown and there will be a penalty for that for any Big 12 team that does the horns down to a Texas player on the football field. So that is once again another power move by Texas to tell the Big 12 what it can and can't do, and also wants to help enforce that they are still in power in the Big 12. What a bunch of wussies, my friend. That's pathetic. All right, next up, Tampa Bay quarterback Tom Brady. Report says that he played the entire season last year with a torn MCL, and he had the MCL repaired in February after the Super Bowl win. So that just goes to show you once again why Tom Brady is definitely the GOAT of all time there in the NFL, and quite possibly one of the best players to play college football and the NFL, all of football on any level, because the guy played last year with a torn MCL in his knee and still was able to lead them to a Super Bowl and a Lombardi trophy. So once again, that is another reason why Tom Brady is the GOAT. Now, some unfortunate news. The Ohio Bobcats legendary head coach, Frank Solich, is the winningest head coach in MAC history, has to step down due to health issues, due to some issues that he had previously. So our thoughts and prayers are definitely with Frank Solich on having to step down, and we hope, Coach, that you do get your health issues back under control. So that is some sad news for all of us here in the college football world. Now we will move towards the WWE. As you can see back there behind me, I've got some WWE stuff, and it looks like that there is a report out there that Goldberg may be returning to the WWE here pretty soon, because Brock Lesnar, they have not reached a deal between Brock Lesnar and the WWE for the SummerSlam pay-per-view, so they may axe Brock Lesnar and bring Goldberg back for SummerSlam 2021, which would be rather huge there for the WWE. And this weekend on Sunday is a very big pay-per-view for the WWE. It is Money in the Bank, and the reason that it's big is because it is the first one since the pandemic hit, and is actually the first one that they're actually going to have a live crowd at for a year and a half. So once again, Money in the Bank will have a live crowd in the audience and not in the Thunderdome there for Money in the Bank at this Sunday night. Oh, and it is also on pay-per-view as well. And some of the matches that you will see are Roman Reigns versus Edge. Oh, and the big one, Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. Now, we did have some sad news to report the other day. Mr. Wonderful, the rival to Hulk Hogan before Andre the Giant matchup, died earlier this week at the age of 71. So our thoughts and prayers are definitely with Mr. Wonderful's family and, of course, his adoring fans that loved him and Mr. Wonderful there as a superstar that was a rival of Hulk Hogan's even before the Andre the Giant Hulk Hogan theme match. So that is some sad news there from the sport of pro wrestling. And even some people say that it's not a sport, but I kind of, I like to throw in a little WWE stuff when I can. All right, guys, and one more note that I did want to throw at you. Next week, starting Monday, there was actually something huge that is going on in the Birmingham Metro. Once again, it is SEC Media Days for college football, my friends. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There you can see on your screen the coach's schedule and the actual days they are going to be on there. And Alabama is going to be on Wednesday of this week. Now, they actually don't have the times down right now. However, that is the schedule. Nick Saban, Mike Leach, Jimbo Fisher, and Clark Lee from Vanderbilt will be the the Wednesday time slot there for the SEC Media Days up there. And also, I wanted to mention that no fans are allowed to be there at SEC Media Days. So that sucks. So once again, that is the situation that we have on hand, is that next week here in Birmingham at the Hoover, at the River Chase Galleria there at the Winfrey Hotel, Dan Mullen, Ed Orgeron, and Shane Beamer will be the Monday slate. Tuesday will be Kirby Smart, Mark Stoops, Lane Kiffin, and Josh Heifel. Then Wednesday, Saban, Leach, Fisher, and Clark Lee. And then on Thursday, you have Sam Pittman of Auburn, Brian Harsin, who is the new coach down on the Plains at Auburn, and the Missouri Tigers coach Eli Drinkowitz will be on Thursday there. Now, some quick notes about SEC Media Days. Alabama is taking a couple of guys, a couple of defensive players up there. Brian Harsin and Auburn are taking Bo Nix, and a couple of other key players that are going. A couple of quarterbacks will be there. JT Daniels is supposed to go for the Georgia Bulldogs, and Matt Corral is supposed to be there for the Lane Train in Ole Miss. So that is going to be something to really look forward to this time next week. As on the Stingray Scoop next week, I will have a breakdown of what everybody did and what everybody said up there at Media Days. It should be a blast. However, unfortunately, this year, due to the pandemic, the global pandemic, you are not able to be a fan in the lobby this year. Unfortunately, if you do have the opportunity to go, unfortunately, this year, fans are not allowed. So hopefully, maybe, fingers crossed, when we get to it in 2022, maybe the fans will be allowed to be there in person. However, this will be streaming every single day from basically in the morning until late afternoon on the SEC network. So they will not let you miss a minute of the issue and the service there for the SEC Media Days. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this edition of the Stingray Scoop. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday afternoon and evening. Great weekend, and I will see you guys right back here on the Stingray Scoop next Friday for all of the wrap-up there, possibly from Money in the Bank and the WWE, and, of course, SEC Media Days. And I did also want to mention that if you have not seen it and you're a wrestling fan, myself and a couple of other guys did a breakdown of Money in the Bank pay-per-view this past week. However, you can find it right here on the YouTube page. Just look up Money in the Bank preview under the CTS, and you can find out all of the ins and outs of the breakdown before the matches this Sunday, only at Money in the Bank. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening, great weekend, great week next week. We will be right back here on the Stingray Scoop next Friday afternoon, giving you all of the latest information from the past week. Oh, and once again, do not forget, Clemson Tom, the always controversial guy, is coming to the CTS. You got to help me welcome him to the CTS, guys. Have a great day, and as always, God bless.